cleaner, heading out. Thought I'd show you the marathon shirt with Donald and Daisy, same as on the medal, of course. All the days have matched up. I think it's super cute. Super cute. It's gonna be warmer today, so I'll probably end up tying that one around my waist, but I'm heading out now. Gonna get my brunch. It's about that time. It's prep time. I might add a couple more salt tabs, is that what they're called? Yeah, to the stash. New for tomorrow, I'm bringing a couple of honey stinger waffles. One to take to the corral with me. I don't know if I'll eat it or not, but to have it. And one for the car, for the ride back. The usual electronics. My last Mylar. I'm so sad they didn't give us Mylars today. I wonder if they just ran out or if I missed it. I don't know. I didn't see anybody else holding one. And then a layer if I need it, but it's supposed to be warmer. Then my outfit. No, I couldn't resist. I mean, I'm already hamming it up. It's Disney. Run Disney. You have free card to ham it all up, so I'm hamming it all up. And I bought that visor when I went back to the expo for tomorrow specifically, and I'm gonna make a game time decision in the morning if I'm gonna wear it or not. If not, I'll just wear my sparkle band. I don't think I need my sunglasses if I have my hat, but I might need them if I don't have my hat. But yeah, that's it. I'm gonna try to get up about 10 minutes earlier tomorrow because I think it's gonna be significantly more crowded, although I really just don't know. Also, Spider-Man was awesome. Highly recommend. It's 2:38 in the morning. I'm ready-ish. So, you guys, I couldn't resist the Dopey dress. You know what? Why not? Why not? It's actually how I got hooked into buying all the other dresses for the other days, because I was looking for something special for the marathon, and I saw this dress and I was like, oh, that's so neat. And then I read all the reviews and I was like, wow, people really like these. And then I just bought the other ones for the other days. But I am wearing the hat, which I really like, the visor, but it's a little bit big on my head and it's not adjustable. So what I did is I actually put my sweaty band on that I've been wearing different colored ones all week. I put it on underneath and it holds the hat in. And also, if I decide to ditch the hat at any point, then I still have the sparkle sweatband. And I don't know, I'm gonna try to show you the bun. Hopefully I made it look nice, but I feel like it came out extra puffy today, so I hope that's a good sign. Put my bib on and I'll go out the door. Good morning. Here we go, one last time. Back in the original parking lot row. And I'm really bummed because I forgot my interval timer, but c'est la vie. It'll be fine, we'll figure it out.
You guys, we couldn't do this without you. It'd be kind of silly if we all came out here and just were like,
that's actually what we do when no one's around. We do this and it's just all exciting.
But we're going to send them on their way and we're going to do it in 3, 2, 1, go!
Well, friends, I made it to my car, just cooling it off. I can't believe I did that. I feel very emotional, slightly ill, and just very tired. So I'm gonna drive back and get in my room, and we'll take it from there. That is a very, very crooked camera. There we go. Well, I made it back to the room. I'm a little bit in a hurt locker. I'm not gonna lie about that. My legs are just like, what the heck did we just do? But I'm like in shock. I need a drink, but it's too far away. I'm in shock. I can't even speak. I'm in shock that I did that. That's the furthest I've run by 2 times. Like, I've never run further than a half marathon, and today I ran 26.2 miles, which is 2 times the length of a half marathon. And I just ran a half marathon yesterday. It's nuts. So the course was a little bit longer than my watch said, and my watch said I held a 12-minute 45-second pace to the 26.2 miles, but the marathon finish time, at least on this tracker, says I had a 13-minute per mile pace, but I'm good with that. Here's my stats if you want to see. I went to the bathroom in the middle there. I think that's when I slow down. It's when I go to the bathroom. But yeah, I went to the bathroom at the same place I went to the bathroom during the half marathon in Magic Kingdom by the Country Bear Jamboree or whatever. I just like feel so weird. I'm like elated and exhausted and pain, a little bit tired, very tired and in pain, and just feel a little ill because that was a lot of exertion. Like a lot. But it was incredible. And it definitely got hot. So the day started out beautiful. About 65, pretty high humidity. And by the time I finished, I don't know, my watch isn't working. It's like 80 degrees and still pretty humid. So the last, I don't know, hour was pretty hot. And that's when I started forming sweat crystals, salt crystals all over my body. And if you've ever done a physical exertion where you've really pushed your limits, that's what your body does. It pushes out all your salt because you're sweating. Oh, I don't feel great. I'm gonna have to continue this chat later. Yeah, I'm gonna take a breather and then I'll come back and talk with you. Hello. It's been a few hours. I've recovered slightly. I'm very tired. I'm gonna go to bed real early tonight because I have a very early flight in the morning. I would normally prefer to fly out the night before I'm back on mommy duty, but I wasn't sure. I've never done Dopey. Obviously, I've never done a full marathon. I wasn't sure if I would physically be able to get myself to the airport. And I'm glad that I just made it for tomorrow. I mean, I'm used to getting up early now. 2:30 a.m. wake-up calls. And I'll be home in plenty of time for my to pick my chicklets up from school. But I wanted to do my recap and kind of wrap up this video. So first, let me show you. Oh my god, I have all my bundles here because I brought them to town because I wanted a picture. I didn't go to any parks while I was here, so I didn't get like a park picture, but I wanted a nice like downtown Disney picture at least because that's free and I could walk there. By the way, walking, I probably walked like maybe upwards of 45 minutes, another hour to get there and walk around a bit and get back to my brunch, reservation. And I'm glad I did that because it definitely helps to like flush the legs out a little bit. Even though it's hard, it helps long term. So, medals from today. The half marathon medal itself is so freaking cute. It's another spinner, just like the half marathon. So this is the full marathon with Mickey and Minnie, and it says 2022 marathon, 26.2 miles, and then it has the world's most magical celebration on the back. And then because I did Dopey, I also automatically completed the Goofy challenges, which is doing both the half marathon and the full marathon, just not the other 2 races as well. And that is this medal. And it's a spinner. Goofy, well, does he spin all the way? I think maybe doesn't spin all the way, but very cute. They call it Goofy's Race and a Half. So it's 39.3 miles, and that's what the back looks like. I really like the ribbon on this one with the green. And then, of course, I've got my Dopey with the purple ribbon. And it's a springy guy. And it says Dopey Challenge, 48.6 miles, and it says 3.1, 6.2, 13.1, 26.2. And again, on the back, it says the world's most magical celebration. That is all the bling. We've got the 5. Not the bling. The 10. 5, 10, half, full, Goofy, Dopey. Can that be my thumbnail? Phew, it's gonna add some poundage to my luggage. I might not check those. I don't know. I also was given this hat along with everybody else who finished the full marathon. It says something about finishing the full marathon. Yep, full marathon finisher. So that was nice. And then I got the standard box of foods, the same, and the banana, and the Powerade, and the water. And instead of Mylars again, now I'm flush out of Mylars, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna wish I had one for the next race. But they handed out these cool towels. These were drenched in like cold water. Cool Core. Apparently it's a patented cooling activation towel. So I'm drying this out. I'm gonna bring it home because I feel like that can come in handy in the summer after cold runs. Maybe like even throw it under cold water and stick it in the freezer for a few minutes. Sweet. Right, so the race. I'm just gonna start from the beginning because I was so out of it this morning when I talked to you. I think in retrospect, and actually I knew this pretty soon after I was talking to you, is that I had a touch of heat stroke. Not full-blown heat stroke, which I have had before, but not often. And not in a very long time, but just a touch, because it got pretty toasty for a race with that kind of humidity level in the direct bright sun. For the last, I would say so from about 8 o'clock onwards, and I finished the race at like, I don't even know, 10 something? 10:45? I don't remember. It was full on hot sun in addition to being really warm up until 8 o'clock. So from like 5:15, I think is about when I went through the start until 8. It was beautiful. It was definitely warmer and humid. So it was, warmer than it had been in the previous days, were just perfect running weather. So grateful for that. But it was like cool enough, and there was a bit of a breeze in some places, but after that sun came up all the way, it was hot. So I hydrated super well. I think I did really well for me and my body at this moment. Having never run a full marathon, I didn't know what I needed to do for fuel. I knew that I needed to drink my way through each of those hydration stations, and I think they put in a couple extra because of the weather. So I started alternating Powerade and water, which is what they recommend, and then I just started drinking a full cup of each at each hydration station because I needed it. And between the hours of, when did I leave? Like 2:50 a.m. and I think I peed around 8-ish. I didn't pee at all, and I didn't go to the bathroom after that until after I got back to my room. I was definitely withholding fluids. And I think I talked about how the salt crystals had formed on my skin from the amount of exertion, and that really had a lot to do with the heat. I was very mindful of my pace and my heart rate. So I kept telling myself, girl, you stick with the 2-to-1 run-walk ratio for as long as it works, and then screw it, we'll do something else. And I had set up a few different interval timers, like a 1-to-2 run-walk ratio, a 1-to-1 run-walk ratio, but the 2-to-1 run-walk ratio I stuck with the whole time, more or less. When it was, because I didn't have my buzzy thing, which I really do prefer having the gym boss, I just had forgotten it. So the interval timer worked because it beeped through my headphones, but the beep was such that I couldn't hear it if I was going by any of Disney's placed loudspeakers and provided music and entertainment, which is plentiful through the course. So I missed some of them, but it ended up being that I held the 13-minute per mile pace pretty consistently according to Disney's tracker. My watch still claims I did a 12:45 pace, but that's neither here nor there. We'll go with Disney's. It's close enough, right? So I finished in 5 hours and 41 minutes. The course, I mean, it's a long way. And you do hit all 4 parks, and you like run through the parking lot of Blizzard Beach. I'm not sure that counts for anything, really. But we barely went into Hollywood Studios. We were in Hollywood, me and like the 16,000 other runners. Yes, there was that many people there. It was crowded. Oh my gosh, just as many people as the half yesterday. By the last third of the course, it finally kind of, it got a little bit more spaced out, I think just because people had either gone ahead or fallen behind. And so there's just more space, but it was tight. But that's what I remember all of the pre-pandemic races being, very full. Right, so the course was a lot on Disney roads, off ramps, on ramps, through parking lots, all that jazz. And I get it. The most exciting parts are obviously when you go through the parks. So they did have us run through quite a bit of Magic Kingdom again, just like in the half. So that was exciting. And it was a little bit later in the day, even though I was going the same pace, like the way that the course was structured wasn't the same. The first 13 miles of the full weren't the same course as the half marathon. So I was there when it was a different time of day. The sun was coming up. It was lighter, and it was just a different experience. And they had us run through all the way around Epcot's World Showcase, even though the park was fully open. And that was kind of neat too, because there were just so many accidental spectators from people who were there visiting the parks, who just chose to stand along the sidelines and cheer. So that was fun too, because definitely having the people on the sidelines makes a big difference. Even if nobody was necessarily there cheering for me, it was just people are so nice and they cheer for everybody, not just their own runners, and it really kind of pumps you up. So I really appreciated that. And it was really fun for the last couple of miles through Epcot to have that experience. It did, so because this is such a long course, it did double back on itself a couple of times, which is to be expected just for, I think, just fitting it in. But also, I ran through some parts of Disney I've never run through before in all of my previous race experiences, and those were very stinky parts. We went through a lot of the plants and processing facilities, the real backlots that you don't see ever. And it was a little stinky. It was a little pungent. But it was fun nonetheless. And everybody was, everybody I encountered was just in good spirits and supportive and encouraging of each other. And it was just a really good vibe on the course. I think I've never 1,800 times now, I've never done a full marathon. So it's a little bit, at least from this very newbie experience, a bit of a different vibe. I don't want to say a half marathon isn't serious, but the full marathon definitely has a bit more of a committed vibe to it, even at Disney, which is it's, people are there just for fun. They're not, most people I think aren't trying to win, you know what I mean? Versus maybe New York City Marathon or Chicago Marathon. I don't know if most people are trying to win those either, but it's definitely a very fun vibe at runDisney, and that's why I love it so much and choose to race there. But the day had definitely a more like very dedicated vibe. That's the word I'm looking for. And I felt that was so cool to experience and witness and feel myself too. I was, you know, like I started that race thinking, what the hey am I doing? Like I have no clue what I'm doing. And very quickly I just started, this is all in my head, by the way. I'm not saying these things out loud, although I am notorious for talking to myself out loud when I'm by myself. But in my head, I'm just, you know, I'm kind of combating my self-doubt and negative self-talk. Like, oh, who do I think I am getting myself into this? I've never done anything more than 13.1 miles. I did not train for this sort of distance. I did, you know, like I didn't, whoa. I was just like, you know what, girl, you just take it one, we just knock them down one at a time, 1 mile at a time. And in those miles, you just follow your interval timer for as long as it feels good, and then if it doesn't, and when it stops feeling good, you change it, and you just keep taking those steps. And even if I had to walk a quarter of it, like what is that, 6-ish miles, that I could still finish and not be swept up by the pace keepers. They call them the balloon ladies because they hold balloons. They walk at the back at a 16-minute per mile pace, but they sweep up anybody that they come across. You still get a medal, I've heard, if you get swept, but it's not quite the same as finishing, you know, crossing that finish line. And to me, that is the gravy. There is nothing like that feeling. And I have just felt so elated at every finish line this week, and today I've never fist bumped the air so hard in my life. It was like, I was just so stoked. Because I did hit my wall, and most people who've run a full marathon will talk about the wall. I feel like I did pretty well because I didn't hit the wall until mile 24. So that's with only 2 and change to go, right? Because 2 and change to go. And I hit the wall, and I was just like, my legs are just so tired. Cardiovascularly, I felt great the whole time, even with the heat. Like, I kept, in the last couple of miles, my heart rate bumped up to like 160, because I was keeping it at 150 or below for the majority of the race. And that feels really good to me. I think I talked about that yesterday. But the heat just really overwhelmed me, and I got really just physically tired in my legs in the last 2 miles. So I was still pushing through my intervals more or less. I couldn't really hear them, so I was just kind of making them up. And it just required more effort for me, so that I bumped up into 160. And I think that's when I kind of got the heat strokey kind of vibe. I can't even tell you, with every mile that I got to, I was like, has it been another mile? So wait, and I would do the math in my head. I'm not good at math, you guys know that. I'd be like, okay, well suddenly 1 mile came super fast, and then suddenly I was at 2, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have 24 left to go. I started having to do 26, and now it's just 24, and I feel like miles 7, 8, 9 came really fast, especially for whatever reason. And I don't know, it was just like every mile marker I got to, and that's why I didn't take very much footage today, because I was just trying to get through it. And I feel like I'd shown you over the course of the week pretty much everything there was to see. Not everything there was to see, but everything I wanted to share that I could like physically do, and also prioritize my experience running, because I do love sharing and filming things I do love filming and sharing things with you, but for these races in particular, and really any of my adventures, the numero uno priority is enjoying the experience. That means experiencing the experience, and that means not looking through a camera all the time. But it was fun. I'm trying to think what my favorite part of the race was aside from finishing, because I was just like in disbelief. I cried. I think I didn't have any fluid left in my body, so I was crying, but nothing came out of my eyeballs. I was just so overwhelmed emotionally, physically, mentally, and it's so many, like just a breadth of feelings. I think running down Main Street and seeing the castle still, and I think that's been the same through all of the Disney races I've done, and I really wish I knew how many I did before I had children. It was at least 4, if not, it feels like 4 or 5 races. And then, you know, now I've done the Wine and Dine 2-course challenge, so that's 2, and then the Goofy now, which is 4. So I've done quite a few now. And they all haven't gone through Magic Kingdom, but most of them have, because I did only half marathons before this, and they all went through Magic Kingdom. Coming down Main Street with the spectators cheering you on, because there's always a lot of spectators at Magic Kingdom, and the castle right in front of you, and it's just like, this is the moment I was running to. And then the next moment you're running to is the finish line, but that was definitely a highlight for me. And also, just quite frankly, finishing something I had no idea I could do. I don't know how to explain this. I signed up for this, I think in August is when they released the, you know, when they went on sale. And I signed up for it, and I was like, I just want to have the option. Like, to me, it's worth spending the money to have the option. And I realized that's a luxury, and I'm grateful for that. But it's available to me, and I'm going to take it. So I was like, okay, I'll have the option, and there's 4 races, so even if I just do 1 or 2 or 3 or all 4, it will be worth it. Or maybe I don't get to go at all because of whatever. I just want the option. I started out this week saying, don't know if I'm gonna make it past the 5K, but we'll see. And then after that, I was like, well, we'll see if I make it through the 10K. And then, okay, let's get through the half marathon, see what shape I'm in. Oh, I'm okay. I guess I'm doing the full marathon. And it was just kind of like a little surprising, but I don't know. I did it. I'm sure there's a million things I'm forgetting that I wanted to share with you, but that's what's top of mind right now. So to catch you up, I did all those things I said I was going to do. I stretched, I put my legs up the wall for a little bit. I showered, obviously. I actually did that first because I was just so salty and I wanted that salt off of me. And I was afraid once I got down on the floor for stretching, I wouldn't be able to get back up for the shower. But I did. And then I walked to downtown, I keep calling that, Disney Springs. And I went to City Works for brunch, which is all the way at the end by the Cirque du Soleil tent at Disney Springs, if you're familiar with the layout. So that was the longest walk I could possibly take to Disney Springs, but it was good. I went slow, and it was good for my legs and just to clear my mind and stuff from all of the emotions, and I actually felt fully better by the time I got to the restaurant. And I treated myself. Oh boy, I got the world's most fancy Bloody Mary you've ever seen. It was delicious. And a big platter of breakfast tacos, hold the cheese, with fries, because I couldn't do the cheesy potato casserole. Bummer. I still don't eat cheese or a lot of dairy because it just doesn't sit well with me. But if it's like in something, like if it's a little butter or like a little chocolate, or it's fine. It's just like cream or milk or cheese, like sour cream, anything like that. Like, we're not gonna have a good time. But yeah, that was really good. And it's kind of what I did yesterday, is I just had that one big brunch meal, and that was the only meal I had, and it actually worked out well. I just had a couple snacks last night. And that's probably what I'll do tonight, because I got a real early flight in the morning to get back to my kids. I miss them, and I can't wait to show them my medals and tell them all about it. I did make one pit stop on the way back, because I wanted to bring them home something. They're real into their dolls and playing like with babies and stuff like that. So I got them these little Stitch and, what's this one's name? Angel? I don't know these movies. Stitch and, I know this is Stitch. Stitch and Angel, little baby animals that are actual full stuffed animals, and they come with this little blanket that I think we just take the tag off, but they can wrap them up in that. I think they'll like them. And we're coming back this year, hopefully. Finally get to bring my kids to Disney, which I've been dreaming of doing since the beginning of the pandemic. When we missed the first trip out of the 4 times I rescheduled, well, now this is the 5th time it's coming up, and I really hope it's gonna happen. I don't see why not at this point, but you never know. I mean, I just know not to be, not to count on things necessarily. be here if we're allowed to be here, and that will be so fun. And I have another race planned. I'm planning on doing the springtime surprise. It won't be a surprise because I've decided, at least with Run Disney, it's too hard to keep it secret because Run Disney makes that information public the week of the race. They just show like a list of who's registered with full names and ages, and people find me real easily. And also, I'm just probably talking about this on some video at some point, but if I haven't already, but I just don't want to be afraid of people anymore. I'm tired of being afraid. And as long as the kids are safe, I don't want to be afraid. So I will be here for that. If you are coming to that, please leave a comment. Let me know. I would love to see you. I'm going to do the yoga thing on the morning of the first race, and then probably be at the expo. Definitely be at the expo that day because I'm running that night. But yeah, should be good times. Let's be Run Disney friends. And I will try to post more in real time with that race because I'm not keeping it a big old fat secret. But I want to thank you for coming along with me on this journey. If you watched the really ridiculously long, very chatty wine and dine video I made, thank you for watching that too. I appreciate your support. This one's chatty too, so I might end up splitting these into separate videos. I don't know yet. I tried to keep it shorter, but I don't know how to make short videos. Just well documented. But this has been magical, and I understand that not everybody will understand or support my decision to come do this, and I understand. I get it. I didn't decide I was coming until very close to coming. And then I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna go. And I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did, and I look forward to coming back, hopefully to many more races over the years, and to staying healthy enough that I can participate. And it's not about the time for me, it's about finishing without injury. And I will report back, but I'm pretty sure that I successfully did that, which is saying something given I ran my first marathon doing the Dopey challenge. Oh boy. All right, you guys. I'm wishing you all well, encouraging you on whatever your fitness or physical endeavor journey is. You just never know what you're capable of until you try it, but do it smart. Do it smart. Train smart, rest well, and go for it if it makes sense to you. All right, you loves. You loves? All right, you loves. I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye. I feel like kind of like a pirate. All right, you loves. No, that's not a pirate thing. Oh well.